All right, so legislative branch, what do we got? What do we have for the legislative branch? What does it do? What's the main purpose of it? Main purpose of the legislative branch. Its main function. Bolton, what do you got? Yeah, good job. So create laws, the biggest one, all right? And it's made up of what? Yeah, Congress, which is the House and Senate. Good job. We know that the House of Representatives, based off population, 435 members. Senate, which is equal representation, right? Two senators per state makes 100. Okay, and their main function is creating laws. Good job. And there's many different things too that it keeps the government balanced, that the Congress obviously votes on and comes together, and maybe it's an issue with the executive branch, maybe it's an issue with the judicial branch, that they have the ability to maybe impeach president. Okay, maybe they have the ability to impeach a court justice, right? Okay, there's many things that these branches have to keep each other in check. All right. Good. And finally, what are enumerated powers? What are enumerated powers? What are they? What are enumerated powers? Sarah, what do you got? Enumerated powers. Yeah, good job. So they're like express powers. Good. So they're specifically stated in the Constitution. They're express powers. Good. Good job. All right. And what are examples of enumerated powers? What's two of them anyway, or one of them? Give me one. Yeah, right. Declare war. Good job. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Good job. Good job. So those are enumerated powers. Good. Any questions on that, guys? We good? Sebastian, you know the gist of this, right? You're good. Okay. All right. Vocab. Vocab. Just three of them today. Elastic clause, inherent powers, and reserve powers. There we go. All right, so elastic clause, what do we have? What is the elastic clause? We already went over this. Just another name for it. Alex, what do you got?
The necessary and proper clause that gives Congress the implied powers.
Yeah, good job. So necessary proper clause, right? McCall versus Maryland. It's just really the expansion of the national government's powers. Okay, that extends past what the Constitution states. Good. Inherent powers. What are inherent powers? Inherent powers. What are inherent powers? What do we got for this one here? Sarah, what do you got? Yeah, good job. So they're almost like executive orders, right? So they're laws that are established by the president, okay, in executive session. Right? So with the New Deal, especially, these are executive orders with FDR during the Great Depression, try to help alleviate some of the problems of the Great Depression. He pushed out a lot of executive orders, okay, and these are powers that are not stated in the Constitution, but are rights, powers that are given to the executive, okay, branch, which is the president. All right, good job. Reserve powers. Final, last one. Reserve powers. What are they? Lydia, what do you got for reserve powers? All right, so reserve powers, easy way to remember it, they're just state powers, okay? So they're state powers, they're reserved for the states, okay? They're powers that are not stated in the Constitution, okay? They're reserved for the states, okay? So the states have a set reserve powers. Okay, an example of reserve powers would be what? What do you think? So what can state governments do? Taxes, right? Okay, which is a form of concurrent powers as well. Right? They can also, they have the power for education. So what they deem necessary for education, right? There's many different things that state governments can do that the national governments can't, right? All right, good. Is there any questions on that? That goes along with federalism, okay? That powers and different rights that government has at a national level and a state level, and it may be shared. Okay, there we go. That's it for that. All right, so I'd like you guys to use your books. Okay, so chapter 3, section 2. Pull this up here. So it's just a graphic organizer to walk you through the reading. I just posted it, the 27th. There it is. Right, so I first want you to do this one here, executive and judicial branch. It's very short. There's only 5 questions. Kind of walks you through the reading and understand the executive branch and the judicial branch. And then finally, there's one more that's assigned, which is just plain and simple the branches and what powers, okay, the conflicts of powers between Congress, the president, judicial branch, okay, and let's say Congress, okay, executive branch and Congress or judicial branch, whatever it might be. Okay, you can refer back to your notes to help you with that. I know I went over this before. Okay, the checks and balances, that's pretty much what that is. Okay, that's what that graphic organizer is established to do, to help you understand these checks and balances, which will lead to, right, the appointment of Supreme Court Justice, which the Senate would vote on, which I want to show at the end of class here, the new Supreme Court Justice to the United States. And how the executive branch, President Trump appointed her, and how the Senate had to vote on it, right, which I'll play at the end of class today. So you guys work on that now. Shouldn't take you too long. So page 70 to 73, it's just the executive branch, right there, and then the judicial branch. There's a couple questions there to help you through that reading. And then when you're done with that, please do the conflicts between the 3 branches. And we'll go over that. We'll go over it. So again, chapter, right down here, general information. Chapter 3, right? There it is, page 70. Cool. There you guys go. I'll you guys work on that for 10, 15 minutes. Does that sound good? We'll reconvene. We'll go over it. If we have enough time, I'll play the video for a new Supreme Court Justice. Hey, Laura. Good. What we're doing? Okay. There you go. Sebastian, you know what we're doing here? You can just go on Google Classroom. Okay. Classwork. Textbook would be general information. Textbook, reading, there you go, chapter 3. You want to use Austin, you good?
Yep.
Try to talk to Austin real quick. Hey, what's up?
Use the restroom.
Yeah, go ahead. This way, sign it. Thanks. All right, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. You guys need more time? Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, let's go over this real quick. So, executive branch, let's start there. What vague constitutional powers does the executive branch have? What do they have? So let's start off in the first place. Let's start. Why was the executive branch created? Okay, so with the Articles of Confederation, they didn't have an executive branch. Why was it important that the founding fathers thought, you know what, maybe we should include an executive branch? What do you think? What do you think here? Lydia, what do you think? Yeah, good job. Good job. So there's a leader. So there's someone to look up to in a time of need, especially in wartime. Okay, maybe depression. Who knows, right? So someone that can, really bring the country together. And what you read about, obviously, the role of the president changed from the beginning when George Washington was there, right? I thought it was funny how they included. It's like, oh, at times George Washington was just kind of sitting around accepting people to come in so he could entertain them. It's like, what? What is he doing? I just thought it was funny when I read about that. Yeah, good job. So with the executive branch, what constitutional powers do they have? What vague constitutional powers do they have? What do you have for number one there, Alex?
He could fire officials in the executive branch, make agreements with foreign nations, take emergency action.
Yeah, good job. Good job. So, in a time of depression, he could, write out many executive orders. Hopefully, approval of Congress. With FDR, there's a lot of different critiques on him and issues that arose with court packing and to a point where legislation was being passed by approval of Congress, which was concerning to many Americans. But in a time of need, you need a leader to step up and try to help and alleviate some of these problems and issues, right? Good. Foreign diplomacy. Good job. So reaching out and communicating with other countries throughout the world, that's a big one. And what did George Washington say about that in the beginning when he became president? What was his belief with foreign entanglement, foreign diplomacy? What did he believe? What did he say? What did he say about reaching out to other countries? Should we try to do that, Holden? Try to stay isolated, right? Why did he say that?
The allies and the other enemies.
Yeah. Yeah, good job. So if you do create an ally with someone, obviously if they go to war, they're going to look for your back and they're going to look for your help. And he thought the best way to try to stay out any type of foreign entanglements and problems and issues throughout the world is try to stay isolated. And during the 1700s, he could do that because the Atlantic Ocean is so far away. We're so far away from other countries. Pacific Ocean, same thing. It's our greatest defense, which, yeah, it's great. But at the same time, we can stay isolated, we can stay separate. But now with the new world and how technology and advancements, we can get to places faster and quicker and more efficient. And it's a little hard to do that. Why is it harder to do that now than ever? What do you think? Do you think it's important that the executive branch communicates and has foreign diplomacy with other countries now? Going against what George Washington stated. Do you think that's important? What do you think? Sarah, what do you think?
I mean, I guess so.
Yeah?
Because, like, I mean, I would say already made, but like, now that we're, if you're in like NATO or something like that, you can't just ignore like other countries, but now you have basically allies and enemies. I mean,
Yeah. So that like something that's already established, like NATO, like you said, we can't just ignore the fact that we have allies and we
it
have.
would be better in that aspect. Now that like all other countries
Yeah,
involved in some manner.
yeah, especially after World War II. I mean, before then, you had nationalistic pride to the point where all these countries are competing against one another, and forming these treaties, these organizations, was a way to try to alleviate from war and tensions and conflicts. And now more than ever, obviously, with President Trump and NAFTA trying to separate himself with that, a lot of it was just with funding, economic reasoning. It causes tensions with other countries. Like you said, there's drawbacks to it. There's benefits to it as well. But at the same time, I think it's important for the executive to try to communicate with these other countries with foreign diplomacy and issues, and try to benefit our allies out in time of war and need. But at the same time, we maybe need to isolate ourselves a little bit, depending on what type of conflicts arise. Right?
We're also dependent on like trade and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like that would be kind of hard now. Like America doesn't manufacture all of its own food, local its own food.
Yeah.
Like,
Good.
no country does that. They kind of like everything.
Yeah, good job. So in the beginning, with George Washington, he thought, what, with finalized goods, industrialization, it was first emerging at the time. He maybe had a little bit of an idea of it, but he said we could probably be self-sufficient, right? We don't need to really worry about these issues. Also during wartime, okay, since we're talking about war, what other important powers does the president have? Think back to World War One, Woodrow Wilson. What was he doing to try to prevent any type of attack on internally in American soil? What do you think? There's two acts that he passed in 1917 that tried to prevent any type of uprising in America. Many people say it's unconstitutional, but in time of war, it might be needed, right? You guys remember those two acts? No? Sedition Act, Espionage Act. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So to try to find loyalty American citizens, try to ban any type of German collusion, right? Any type of German spies or inside America, trying to eliminate their freedom of speech. And in many ways, too, when we get to World War II, the Japanese internment camps, right? Make sure that they're not going to try to, these Japanese immigrants, these people that have Japanese heritage, they're not going to try to start an uprising in America. Maybe some people think that's abuse of power, but in a time of war, a time of conflict, maybe that's needed. Who knows, right? Who knows? But as you can see, it expanded the powers of the president over many years and time. And with FTR, you know, and through the Great Depression, World War II. Oh man, sorry about that. We didn't get through it. Okay. Tomorrow we'll finish it up. We'll talk about it. I want to get started on that activity for Thursday and Friday. Amending Constitution. That'd be cool, right, Lydia? Yeah. See you guys later. Have a good one. Joey, Temple Al, do you just come in here to push that screen around? Yeah. Oh, what do you think about the drama with the Supreme Court justice here? What do you think, Sarah?